Soy Pepe Martínez Jr., con mi Mariachi Ángeles. Venimos de California, estamos aquí en Tucson. Gracias por la invitación para la conferencia de mariachis. Con el gusto de compartir el escenario con el Mariachi Sol de México y con Marisa Ronstadt, una gran amiga en lo personal de la familia y de todo el Mariachi Ángeles.
Hasta del pensamiento que pueda recordarte.
Cada año que venimos aquí a Tucson, siempre a los estudiantes se les nota el avance y la mejoría a todos los estudiantes. Hay niños que también pues son de recién ingreso, entonces pues van empezando, pero los que ya conocemos con años pasados, sí se siente el avance, que están estudiando.
A la gente le encanta ver tu familia, y si me podía platicar de su esposa, de su niña, y también que ustedes dos trabajan un poco juntos, ¿así?
Sí.
Okay.
Ella es la directora y la dueña del Mariachi Colibrí. El mariachi Las Colibrí es un mariachi tradicional, no tiene trompetas, únicamente son cuerda, violines, guitarrón, vihuela y guitarra y un arpa. Entonces no hay trompetas, únicamente es un mariachi tradicional, porque así empezó el mariachi, sin trompetas. Entonces ella es la directora y la jefa, y pues sí, yo las dirijo a ella, les hago arreglos, les monto sus canciones para la gente, y hemos trabajado en mancuerna. Entonces, y luego con mi bebé, pues que tenemos una bebita ya tiene 5 meses, María Estrella. Entonces nos hemos acoplado bien, porque estamos en el mismo ambiente, ¿no? Me entiende, la entiendo, y ahí vamos, viajamos para todos lados juntos, y con la niña también ya.
One thing that I do as a director is really encourage education. I have a bachelor's and a master's degree, and I know how important education is to our future and as women and women leaders in this country. So I do encourage that all the girls go to school and support their efforts in finishing their degrees. So I have probably I would say 75% college graduates plus master's degrees, or in aspiring to be mastered or credentialed teachers. This past September, we did a 30-year tribute to Linda Ronstadt and her Canciones de mi Padre. To me, it was very important to bring this to light for people, and for people to remember, because everybody almost in the United States has some recollection or connection to the CDs. And for me, of course, it was important because she influenced my life personally as a young girl growing up hearing that album in 1987. I was 10 years old. And it's timeless, that CD.
I love Linda Ronstadt, you know, especially I think the Mexican Americans, because she did so much. I don't think she can really grasp how much she did for our culture and our heritage and our music and the mariachi. I saw it, I was still living in New York and we didn't know each other. I saw it on Broadway. And when I looked around and saw that I was in a Broadway house and that she was singing mariachi music, it was very emotional. It really was. It was tremendous what she did. And so I think that makes her extra beloved by our people, that she is celebrating our culture and our music, as so many do. There's no question, there's so many. We could both rattle off great mariachis and beautiful people, and those that teach the mariachi classes, and that all started in Tucson. That's where it all began, you know, with the conference and those giants that we're on their shoulders. But Linda had a huge platform. You know, that was a big platform she had, and she was able to really get it up on a level that few others could, you know. So yeah, she's the real deal. That's what I always tell people. She is the real deal.
So I wanted to do this tribute, and really excited that Las Colibrí was able to play those songs alongside Mariachi Angeles, you know, Pepe Martinez Jr., especially because his dad was so much a big part of that tour, about the music, the arrangements, and then also for him to sing with her niece, Mariachi Ronstadt. And it was just like, you know, the same duets that happened 30 years ago were happening again in this new generation.
Hay quien pudiera mirarse en ellos. Hay quien pudiera besarlos más, gozando siempre de sus destellos. Y no olvidarlos nunca jamás.
To be able to honor that album and Linda and everybody that made it what it was, not only, you know, when it became a show, a performance on the road. It was kind of surreal and an honor to stand on that stage and sing those songs. I grew up with that album just as so many other little chicanitas did my age, and to be able to do that as a part of our family and what's in my lineage and bloodline is amazing, that I'm able to be a fan and hopefully do some justice to the songs, for the music.
Lo alto de una bruta serranía, acampado se encontraba un regimiento, una joven que valiente lo seguía, locamente enamorada del sargento. Popular entre la ropa era bonita, la mujer que el sargento idolatraba, y además de ser valiente era bonita, que hasta el mismo coronel la respetaba.
During the 90s, my high school, I went to high school in Phoenix, South Mountain High School, and we had a mariachi there, of course, and we got to attend as students, as in, you know, in the classes, and I took guitar and voice along with a couple of other of my classmates, and then we got to perform on the big stage, you know, along with the big, because you know how they used to bring all the students at the end. Or the camaraderie that you build with other people from different places, not only Tucson, but there were people from California, from Nevada, from Phoenix, from New Mexico. Like, they came from everywhere in droves to attend these classes, and to not only do that, but to see the show, the big show on Friday. And
this event could not be possible without the help of all of the board members, amazing board members. Some of these board members have been on this board since the very beginning, and without their knowledge, without the things that they've passed on to even us, the younger and newer board members, you know, it's just a continuance of the love and the passion for the music and for the students, understanding that it's a cultural tie for these kids. They come and they see their peers, they have a great time, and of course our volunteers are huge. Without our volunteers as well, this wouldn't work. So we extend a big hand and a big thank you to all of our volunteers and our board members.
Formé el mariachi en el 81 junto con mi hermano Jesús y ¿qué les puedo decir? Tuvimos la suerte y la bendición de trabajar con Juan Gabriel. Después de un año empezamos a trabajar con él grabando cosas para Lucha Villa, Rocío Dúrcal, para Juan y Aida Cuevas. Y pues desde allí empezó una carrera muy larga ya a través de las grabaciones con los artistas que últimamente grabamos acá con Shaila Dúrcal, con Espinosa Paz y con muchos.
No ha grabado con nadie el señor, pero Hollywood también te ha llamado.
Poquito, hemos grabado varias películas, música para películas como Rango, como McFarlane, como las 3 películas de Beverly Hills Chihuahuas. Y viene una nueva que va a salir en diciembre, una película que se llama Nicole. Nicole viene siendo la hija de Santa Claus, ella va a ser la primera mujer Santa Claus y tiene su propio mariachi en el Polo Norte.
Y por último, hay otra producción discográfica que está por salir. Antes de presentarnos, háblanos de eso.
Viene un nuevo disco a mediados de mayo que se llama Leyendas de mi Pueblo. Es un homenaje a Jorge Negrete, Pedro Infante, a Miguel Aceves Mejía, Javier Solís, José Alfredo Jiménez y Vicente Fernández. When the devil finished, Johnny said, well, you're pretty good, old son, but sit back in that chair and let me show you how it's done. Hang on! Fire them on the run, boys, run! Come on, man! The devil's in the house of the rising sun. Chicken your bread pan, big in that door. Granny's the dog by no child, no.
The Heritage Society, I started that foundation in 1991. And I just wanted to give something back to the community. You know, I had a very successful business, which I still do, with Cielito Lindo, the restaurant. First thing I did was, you know, form an honorary board of directors, you know. So I called, first one I called was Ruben Fuentes, right? And he goes, what a good idea, Pepe. You know, yeah, you could use my name. And then I called Vicente Fernandez. I called Lola Beltrán, Lucha Villa, Maile Mendoza, Miguel Aceves Mejia. They all loaned me their name. Jose Alfredo Jr. It was really cool, you know, just to have their names and to put them there. Then I went to Latino business owners. And, you know, they love mariachi music, and they all helped me, you know, form this board of directors. And the whole idea was to be able to give an opportunity to kids to study mariachi music at a low price. So I got together, you know, a few teachers. One of them was Laura. I asked her, I go, why don't you coordinate the thing with the Heritage Society? We'll have this teacher, this teacher, this teacher. Heriberto Molina El Cura was our vocal teacher. So we taught at a class at a school called the LA Music and Art School in East Los Angeles, which is still there. But we used to teach some mariachi classes, and I used to make it very affordable. And my job was to learn how to play golf and go out and lobby all these you know, big corporations, you know, they trying to get them to hand over some funds, you know, so we could do our annual fundraiser at the San Gabriel Civic, you know. So it was always great, you know. It was my job to raise, you know, from $50,000 to $60,000 to cover the show, and everything. Every ticket that we sold was completely donated to the foundation. You know, it's a true foundation. I didn't have a salary. You know, I mean, I was already blessed with my business. Why would I need a salary, you know, from the foundation? So for 20 years I did that. You know, I think we taught over 2,000 or 3,000 kids. We raised almost about $2 million that went back to the kids. Some of them are in my group. I have a couple of my foundation kids in my group, Gustavo Peña and Adrián Grijalva, who is also a performance major, you know, I think viola major. He's a great player. And Reinas have, you know, 3 or 4 of the girls that form part of the foundation too. So it's pretty neat, you know, to see groups in Los Angeles that are now teaching little kids and stuff like that. You know, it's a whole different generation. I continue with my foundation now, you know, through a grant that I got from the federal government. I was able to implement a mariachi program in the city of Santa Ana, which is 98% Latino, very poor families. It's in Orange County, and I started mariachi in the middle schools for 9 middle schools. So I hired 6 full-time teachers that teach, I think, from 1 o'clock through 6 o'clock every day. You know, but it's considered an after-school program. I think that's where California falls behind compared to the other states. Other states have full mariachi programs. That's part of their grade. You know, it's like part of their class. In California, they still don't do enough of that. They should do that, you know. It's, you know, it's a state, you know, all of our politicians there, you know, rely on the Latino vote. But I still don't know why we don't have mariachis in the schools full time, like the way these other red states do. In Texas, they have an amazing mariachi program. Arizona, amazing. I think it's a red state too. Nevada, amazing. It's a red state. Okay, what's wrong with this picture? California, you got to get your act together. All the politicians, You have to love our mariachis, and you have to support all the kids. This is about music. It shouldn't be really about politics, about the love for mariachi music.
Espera un poco, un poquito más para llevarte mi felicidad. Las cosas de amor que Dios te decía. Well